good to see you. I think probably like everyone else, glad you came through the weekend unscathed, and everyone here. How ready are Wales for this week? And I ask in terms of the progression under Craig Bellamy, asking for that team identity. You've had some big games, toe-to-toe with Belgium, and your last game was a 7-1 demolition of a very good side. So with the prize on offer in just over a week's time, how ready are you for this week?
Yeah, of course we're ready. I think we're very well prepared in terms of, since the manager came in, he's put across how he wants us to play, and I think that you probably saw everything come out, I think, in that North Macedonia game of how we wanted to play and how we executed the game plan. So it's a really nice moment, really, I think, for all of us to see how well everything came together, and hopefully we can then reproduce that on this camp.
Home advantage, the stats are good. We can talk about those because the stats are good when Wales play at home. Bosnia's stats away from home are not, they're okay, they're not great. But can you explain as players exactly what home advantage means rather than us just talking about stats? What does home advantage actually mean?
I don't know, it's tough. I think probably the comfort that you get from playing at home and the confidence that you get from playing in front of your own fans, I think that's a massive part of home advantage. Obviously, when the draws came out that both fixtures would be at home, everyone automatically thought, okay, yeah, we've got a really good chance here. And I think just that mindset of having the confidence of knowing that you're playing in front of your own fans and that these teams are going to have to come here and yeah, really fight to keep up with us and play the game.
In terms of the preparation, Bosnia, what do you make of the threat that you've got with them? It's a two-part question in one way. What do you make of Bosnia? Because obviously they were pretty close to Austria in their qualifying group. And also, how difficult is it not to let the mind wander to a potential final at home, either against Italy or Northern Ireland?
Yeah, I think we're expecting a tough game. We have done in every single game that we've played, and we've really been zoned in, I suppose, on every single game that we've played throughout Craig Bellamy's tenure with the country. So I think nothing changes in that aspect for us. That we know that we've got to play on Tuesday night and we've got to get Thursday night and we've got to get that game done first. So yeah, we'll obviously have a game plan in place for that and make sure that we execute it to the best of our ability.
You weren't involved in, but you were party to, because it's happening more and more in football, and we don't know whether it'll be stamped out. Say, for example, during the World Cup, Kelleher goes down on Saturday. Subs come on. There's a massive break in the play. Goalkeepers can't go off the pitch. First of all, just your thoughts to what happened on Saturday, but also how distracting it is when you're on the other end of it. And would you condone ever using it as an advantage if you had to?
I think, the dark arts have come into it a lot more this season in terms of not just goalkeeper going down or whatever. In terms of, we're seeing long throws used a lot more and blocking and different pieces like that. So I think a lot more thought has gone into how you can affect the game, and it's just another tactic or option that some clubs tend to use to, like you say, regroup or get tactics onto the pitch. But there's not much we can do about that unless you say, like, the laws of the game change, and that's not something that I can do. If I needed to, yeah. Of course, yeah. I think if your manager wants you to do it and it's effective for your team, then yeah, why not?
I think that's my fault.
Thank you.
No worries.
Samos. Months ago, just put into words for me, what would it mean to qualify, to make it to a World Cup finals?
Yeah, I think on a personal note, it would mean everything to me. It's something that when I first joined up with the group, it was a massive goal of mine for us to achieve that. And obviously, I know a lot of lads have got experience of being at World Cups, and I think that breeds confidence as well throughout the group to know that they've already been here and they've done that. And for myself, it's just adding my part to that and hoping that I can help help us achieve the goal of getting to the World Cup.
You touched on this before. How special would it be to emulate your grandfather and make it to a World Cup?
Yeah, it would give me a great deal of pride, and the family are already really proud. But it's something that, it's the pinnacle, isn't it, in terms of national football to go and play in a World Cup, and it's something that I'd love to do, and I'm hoping we can do that.
He's 40, still banging them in. What threat will he pose?
He's obviously a player that's been around for a long time, who has really high quality. In terms of age, I don't know too much about what he's like now, and it's something that we still need to be aware of, that threat, and we don't take anything lightly in terms of who we're up against, and it's he's obviously still a threat at 40 years of age.
Finally, there will be a winner on the night. Could go down to extra time and penalty, something I guess you will prepare for this week. How do you deal with that pressure? It could come down to what you do on Thursday.
Yeah, it's as a goalkeeper, you're hopefully going to be the hero, and that's the mindset that I'll be in terms of, if it does go down to that, then to have the confidence of coming up with a penalty save or two to help us get there. We'll be well versed in terms of how we prepare for penalty shootouts, and that's just part of what this camp's going to be as well. Thanks.
Lawrence, thanks, Thomas. Lawrence.
Just change my first question. Are you any good at penalties? Is it something you enjoy? Wow, both, I suppose.
I'd back myself. I think you have to. Like I said, we'll go into detail in terms of what we need to do penalty-wise, and we'll make sure that we're as well prepared as we can be for not just the game, but of course, if it goes into that sort of decider, then we'll be ready.
Look, I don't want a full brief on it, but when Craig Bellamy was selling you the dream of coming in and playing for Wales and being part of this squad, was it nights and sort of moments like this, I suppose, that he talked about? Yeah,
I wouldn't say he sold the dream. It was just a case of, I think we both aligned at the same time, and it was something that we both had goals in terms of where we both wanted to get to. I think, obviously, what he's brought to me in terms of teachings and the way he's coached, and in terms of playing out from the back and bits and pieces like that, has been massive for me. I've learnt so much from being here, and even with Martin Marderson, the goalkeeping coach, I think I've picked up so many bits in just being in and around the camp, and it's something that I've loved every time I've come here. I've tried to do the country proud every time I turned out, and for myself, I look back over the last 2 years in terms of with great pride and picking up a lot of lessons in terms of from the goalkeeping aspect, but also how the outfield players work.
And obviously you're a regular in the Premier League at the moment, and do you think the time you spent with Wales has helped you at club career, and sort of vice versa, I suppose, as well? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I think they can both. What's the word? So I think definitely the way that I'm playing for my club at the minute is, there's definitely parts of that game that have come from what I've learnt in my country, and then, like you say, playing club football regularly is it's going to really help me in terms of being in a rhythm, and coming into this camp, hopefully it stands me in good stead.
Without being too negative about this, obviously, defensively, Ben Davies has played regularly at centre-back, and then we've got injuries as well to Chris Mepham. With Joe and your sort of relationship there, how difficult is that for a goalkeeper when you've got new players coming into that sort of central defensive area?
I think the good thing about the group is that the manager's used a lot of players throughout both campaigns, throughout the Nations League and throughout the qualifiers. So there's been a lot of minutes in legs in terms of who's come in and who's come out of the team, which I think he's always said we're going to need a good big group of players to achieve this. And it's going to have proved true fact that we're missing a couple of players that hopefully now lads come in and they've already played for the country in the last 18 months or whatever it's been. So that's it.
And then just finally for me, did you study other goalkeepers? I know recently you came up against Donnarumma for Manchester City. What are your thoughts on him and the type of keeper he is?
Yeah, he's obviously a world-class goalkeeper. Big stature and makes big saves at key moments. Yeah, I think he's a very good goalkeeper.
Is there anything that particularly impresses you about his style or about him?
Yeah, again, that making big saves at big moments and dominating his area. I think the way he's taken to the Premier League's been pretty unique in terms of coming over and hitting the ground running. So, yeah, he's a good goalie.